Welcome to UpperEdge on Full Throttle TV for tonight's London Recreational Racing Cup Series powered by Road Life event. We're just moments away from getting underway with tonight's racing program. But first, let's take a moment to thank the people that make it possible. London Recreational Racing. London Recreational Contracting has gained a remarkable reputation as an industry leader in concrete pool and spa construction by focusing on three key factors: quality, creativity, and outstanding customer service. A proud sponsor of countless racing vehicles and events, London Recreational is a leader on and off the track. The Circle Alliance. The Circle Alliance is a digital and online global marketing firm, providing marketing, promotional, and advertising platforms. The Circle Alliance showcases a diverse collection of musical artists, male and female models, and business organizations using a vast variety of digital and online sources to market clients' products and services worldwide. The Circle Alliance is the vehicle for your vision. Our Expression Studio, a small digital studio with corporate-style passion, creativity, and capability. Our Expression has a diverse clientele base that extends from massive web development and CMS projects to the finest detail in a graphic design project for a low-budget race team. Motor Components. Facet Purelator self-priming high-lift electronic fuel pumps are the specified choice of both domestic and foreign nameplate, original equipment diesel and gasoline engine manufacturers.
And we welcome you to the Richmond International Raceway tonight, the final race of the regular season for the London Recreational Racing Cup Series APC 200. Tonight, a lot on the line for some of these guys, but more than half the field can sit pretty confident knowing they'll make it in to the championship playoffs. And as we say that, we'll go to our championship grid here. And you can see the 7 already locked in based on points. It's Raleigh Grant Davis, Michael Araya, Adam de Blasio, Corey Hoover, Michael Fennelson, Shane Terrian, and Walker Thomas have all made it in on wins so far this season. And for the rest of these guys, again, the ones locked in on wins noted there. Locked in on points tonight, Austin Hartenfels has raced his way in essentially as he cannot fall any further back. I believe he locked that in last week. And starting the race tonight, Joseph Tice and Carl Shedd will essentially lock their way in as they cannot fall any further down in the points. And we have 2 clinch scenarios tonight for the final 2 spots for the championship. Ryan Dyson only has to finish 11th or better with no laps led tonight. Ryan currently on top of the board in practice. Have to see where he ends up in qualifying, see if he can back that time up. But with only 16 cars here tonight, should make it a little bit easier. And Trevor Polo, in a very good situation at this point, only has to finish 22nd or better with no laps led. That is, if people behind him somehow pull off a victory tonight. And should there be a winner from behind, has finished 13 positions ahead of Dyson with no laps led, 12 with a lap led, and 11 with a lap and the most laps led tonight. So now we know how that's going to play out. So as we said, about half this field tonight with only 16 cars, a little bit more than half of the field really in no worry, with 10 cars essentially already knowing they're moving on. So it's going to be interesting to see, as last time we were here, there was no points on the line. Tonight, for a lot of these guys, really the same situation. Have to see if that changes the atmosphere of this race at all and changes the mindset of these guys, knowing that this may be the final relaxation race, if you will, of the season before we have to start getting down to business tonight. One thing to note as well, hoping Michael Skinner, the regular colleague over here for the UpperEdge Racing League, hoping he joins us here soon, caught up in a bit of traffic over there coming home from work. So hope to get him in later tonight, but you can see there, checkered flag flying on practice. 15 minutes of qualifying will determine where everybody starts tonight. Again, 16 cars in the field at the moment to see if we get any more comers into the field tonight. It'll be very interesting to see really if Ryan Dyson can back up that lap he posted in practice. Notably hasn't had the best of seasons, but is in a very good spot to try and race his way in tonight. See just about everyone now rolling onto the track. And as you see there, a lot of these guys looking like they're taking the higher groove around the racetrack. A line we've only seen recently around the Richmond International Raceway there, around the top near the wall. An interesting line for sure. Have to see if that's going to be the preferred lane tonight, or if it only comes in later in the run. Again, main question is going to be the atmosphere of tonight. Again, the final race of the regular season. More than half the field already knows they're locked in comfortably. And personally curious to see if that changes how these guys race. So already 12 cars have made their time there, and Ryan Dyson still on top of the board. About a 100th better than Shane Terry in there in second. Shane in last night's Hardline Truck Series race there came home second. And the 14 of Michael Fennelson there sitting ninth, won last night. See if that momentum carries over to tonight at Richmond. Of course, Fennelson got a win at Indianapolis, so already locked in solidly to the playoff. Just wants to, I'm sure he'd want to add another victory to that margin. And one surprising note, I guess I could say, is the 45 of Carl Shedd. Most notably, beginning of the season, a very rough run, leading a lot of laps, but didn't come to the checkered flag at the end of it, and definitely hurt his positions because of it. But tonight, will solidly lock himself in to the playoff spot. Hasn't been as dominant as we've seen him as early in the season. Have to see if maybe he can come alive in the playoffs. As I think at this point, if you asked us at the beginning of the season, we'd have to say Flat Out Motorsports was probably the best team going in to the playoff spots. But as we've seen throughout the season, it seemed like these guys have started to adapt to the Gen 6, and has definitely shook up how the field is spread out. Beginning, it was really a Michael Laraya dominated show, but recently a lot of other players have come into the mix and have definitely shaken up this field. Speaking of Michael, there he is with the new Sports Graphics logo on there. And of course, with that, he'll roll into pit road, but of course we have the Sports Graphics in-car camera tonight on all four of the Flat Out Motorsports drivers tonight. So the 44, the 51 of Bradley Burke, the 24 of Raleigh Grant Davis. He's going out to make another run there. And looking for him, the 41 of Sean Powell as well. Get a couple cool onboard shots with him throughout the night. It's only about 11 and a half minutes left here in round one. Round two this round will wrap up in about 3 minutes. 2 rounds here in qualifying. Round one normally ends around the 8-minute mark. And then the top 8 move on to round number 2. Usually starts around the 5-minute mark. So one driver keep making note of there, the 9 of Trevor Polo, has been pretty consistent throughout the season, as he's going to go out and make another run there. Only really, just looking through it here, only really has to worry about tonight maybe about 3 cars here. The 37 of Tom Story, the 11 of Jamie Dyson, and the 19 of Jacob Adams. I believe he's probably going to have to be the only ones this 9 looks out for, is again, wants to finish about 22nd or better to advance, and if someone from behind steals the victory tonight, can make it that much more difficult. And of course, the 41 of Sean Powell as well, don't want to count him out either. So still early in qualifying here, but again, have to keep giving a shout out to this 28 of Ryan Dyson. Has been on quite a roll ever since Daytona, it seemed like. Once he got the 4th place finish there, it seemed like the momentum was just carried on. Had a little hiccup at Darlington, but ever since that, it's seeming like this team has just really come alive and sitting on top right now. Doesn't have to win the race tonight, just has to finish 11th or better to make it in. But right now, looking pretty good at the top of the board. Really pretty solidly, only 100 better than the 38 of Shane Tarian. But still has to feel pretty comfortable. Sean Powell rolling it out there. Try and get another lap in. Joseph Tice there again. One of the 2 drivers that starting the race tonight will lock them in. The other one being the 45 of Carl Shed. We'll bring it down. 44 of Michael Araya there was pretty solid last time we were here a little bit earlier in the season with no points on the line. His last win came at Darlington, and just to add to his incredible streak early in the season, then a win at Charlotte. 5 wins on the season, looking for a 6th tonight. Again, obviously doesn't need it, but would be nice to have, I'm sure, for him. And then one notable as well, last time we were here, the 45 of Carl Shed won that race after so many races at that time of trying and not making it to the checkered flag. Finally got that one. Unfortunately, didn't count for points. See if he can back it up tonight. Again, doesn't need it. Just more bragging rights as we head in to the chase for the championship. So 12 drivers will advance tonight. And of course, we go into the playoffs next week. .33 there. Cora Hoover, not about half the field left on the track here. Trying to get one more run in at least. You can see the 5 all the way up against the wall there. Mentioned earlier, it's looking like may have maybe 2 lanes going here, the bottom and the top. I'm curious to see how many people actually choose to run that high side. My memory's a bit foggy on the last time we were here, how many guys actually took it there. But definitely did see some short track action last time around. Last time we were here, we saw 3 and a little bit of 4 wide action, and could say the same tonight again with one of these guys not having to worry about points. These guys will start to wrap up their runs and we'll pull it in here. Once the 45 parks it there. Now we will wait for the beginning of round 2 here. So far it's looking like grid tonight going to be 16 cars, so again going to make it really easy for the 9 of Trevor Polo. Only going to have to worry about a select handful of cars to possibly take his chances of advancing out. Sean Powell had moved up to the 3rd spot there. I believe that was a little bit later in that qualifying run there. Ran 12 laps to try and get that one. Engines are revving. These guys ready to go for round 2 here. I have to believe when the clock strikes 5, we'll see some guys heading out. And it's looking like track is open. First one out, the 28 of Ryan Dyson. See if he can hold on to this pole position for what has been so far a rocky season. Momentum building to this race. Gonna do a walk-off tonight. So the top 8 there: Dyson, Tarian, Powell, Lariah, Shed, Burke, Hoover, and Tice all advanced here to the second and final round. Normally with the second round, you don't see a lot of advancements. Well, I say that. And Carl Shedd's going to jump to second there on the board. Only a thousandth better than the 38 of Tarian there. Carl Shed, no stranger to the front row as well here. Him and Michael Araya, very early in the season. It was pretty common to see them both starting first and second. Sometimes just flip-flop there, but... What, about 3 cars left on track, looking like the 51. Bradley Burke gonna pull it off here. Bradley essentially in a must-win situation coming in tonight if he wants to make it into the playoffs. And has 3 minutes to try and post a better lap there. Hoover going to jump to 4th there on the board. Pushes Powell back to 5th, Lariah back to 6th. So he's going to pull it back in there. See if Lariah can have a better lap this time around. Something must have gone wrong on that lap. A 49 second there. Looking like this will be his flyer. Tried, but just missed the mark there, about a 10th off. 38 of Shane Tarian looking like he's on a run here. Now he's going to pull it in. He actually made his lap prior to that. 33 of Corey Hoover will try something this time around. Just under 2 minutes to go here. Very close to that wall. This, as we mentioned last night, he's going to pull it in there, but these walls can definitely come out to bite you there, as you saw basically almost hitting the wall there. It's very much a feeling like Darlington, where you come up from that bottom, can feel fine at some points, and then all of a sudden you're in the wall. I believe Carl Shedd going to be on another flyer here. Now he's going to pull it in there. Minute 20 left here on the clock. Not a lot of time left. Bradley Burke not advancing time there. And again, not a huge amount of changes normally in round 2. Although we've seen a couple jump up so far here tonight. 45 seconds left. I believe if you're gonna want to make a lap, may want to start thinking about pulling out now. Hoover's time there will keep him in 4th. Lariah will most likely be pulling it down this time. Yes, he will. 20 seconds left. Dyson there out on the track. Carl Shedd as well. Just in front of Tarian there. I don't think that may have messed up his lap. Well, he's going to spin it there on the front straightaway. It's oh so close to at least bettering his time a little bit there. But qualifying going to finish up. And that'll put Ryan Dyson on the pole here tonight. Carl Shedd going to start second. Shane Tarian 3rd, Corey Hoover going to start 4th. Sean Powell 5th. Michael Araya 6th. Bradley Burke 7th. Joseph Tice 8th. Raleigh Grant Davis 9th. Jacob Adams 10th. Austin Hartenfels 11th. Michael Fennelson 12th. Walker Thomas 13th. Jamie Dyson 14th. Trevor Polo 15th. And Tom Story going to be 16th tonight. Well, for a night that the 28 going to need to have a good night, 11th or better, starting on pole is a pretty good way to start it out there. And if you're just tuning in, we'll again go over the playoffs here. First off, we'll show you the grid tonight. You can see there those 7 drivers locked in already to the playoffs. Those 7 drivers there, all with wins throughout the regular season. Could change tonight if another first winner gets in. But in terms of locking in on points, Austin Hartenfels has already locked it in, starting or taking the green flag tonight. Tyson Shed, Joseph Tice and Carl Shed will both lock themselves in. Ryan Dyson starting on pole only needs to finish 11th or better with no laps led. Trevor Polo going to need to finish 22nd or better with no laps led, but should we have a winner from behind him in terms of points, he's going to need to finish 13 positions ahead of Ryan Dyson, 12 ahead with a lap led, and 11 with the most laps and a lap led. So just waiting for about 3 cars, about 4, take the grid here. Then we'll be set to go 200 laps tonight. And we'll find out who's going to race for that championship at the end of it in Homestead. Or who has a shot, I should say. Obviously, this is going to be an elimination-style format there, as you saw on the grid. And we are rolling and away. Fairly certain it's going to be 1 pace lap around tonight. And the one thing I keep emphasizing tonight, not a lot of pressure on more than half of the field tonight. 10 drivers have locked their way in. Only 2 really have to worry. But with their starting positions and really the amount of cars tonight, not a lot to worry about. So tonight, really going to be a race. If you want to slack off, you may have the option to do that. This pace car going to pull there, so going to be 2 pace laps around. But tonight, going to be your last night of possibly going hard and not really having to worry about it. And really going for broke here, kind of like last time we were here at the Richmond International Raceway, where there was no points on the line, and the winner took home a pretty good purse. But that's not going to be the case tonight. Points are going to be on the line, and the purse tonight not going to be as big. But for this 28 of Ryan Dyson, really couldn't have chosen a better time to start heating things up there in that 28. Keep saying hasn't had the best of seasons, but looking to make a rebound tonight. Momentum ever since Daytona has been building. Pace car going to pull off there. Who's going to make it into the chase tonight? We'll find out after 200 laps at Richmond Weir Green. Great start there for the 28 of Dyson. He'll lead him into turn 1. The 38 of Shane Terrian going to follow in suit there on the bottom. And the real question going to be tonight, how long is it going to take before that high lane starts to come in, if it does? Saw a couple drivers there all the way to the wall in practice and qualifying. Not sure that may be the best way to go tonight. Dyson going to lead lap 1 there. And with that, only going to need to finish 12 positions ahead. Shane Terry going to lock up the second spot there. The 45 of Shed thought he was going to try and cross under, didn't have the momentum entering 4 there, or entering 3. Sean Powell just behind them as well, essentially in a must-win situation, just riding in that 4th spot. This being a short track, I have a feeling they're going to be bumper to bumper for quite a while. See a side-by-side battle back there a bit. 29 and 24 going at it. 29 of Austin Hartenfeld has been very consistent throughout the season, and with that, he's already locked it up. And tonight going to be essentially like a win, and not going to have to worry about points tonight. Just behind the 24 there, the 14 of Michael Fennelson, a win last night at Darlington in the Truck Series, the Hardline Truck Series. Hoping to carry over some momentum tonight from that. Still pretty close throughout the pack here. The 44 Michael Ryan has already lost about 2 spots since the drop of the green flag back to the 8th spot, where he started in the 6th spot. Only on lap 6 though, so still a long ways to go, and obviously race not over yet. See the 51 Bradley Burke there tried to get underneath Corey Hoover in the 33. That was for the 5th spot. Didn't quite have the momentum entering the corner, however. And with taking the green flag there, see the 5 of Joseph Tice has locked himself in, as well as the 45 of Carl Shedd. So nothing to lose, as I keep saying, and I will probably keep saying throughout the night. Not a lot to lose for about 10 of these drivers tonight. 2 of them, a little bit of worry in the back of their minds, but one of them, this 28 of Ryan Dyson, has led all 7 laps so far tonight. Was on top in practice, started on pole tonight, and currently leading, and with a pretty good margin over the 38 of Shane Terrian there. Shane, another one in the hunt last night for a win at Darlington. Unfortunately, a little bit of contact with the wall, and the truck, I should say, tightening up late in the race cost him that. 78 laps led out of the 120 last night. Looking to rebound, and already second on the grid tonight. Looking pretty stout, that 38 is early tonight. Seeing these guys have sort of settled down so far here. Not too much side-by-side racing throughout the field at the moment. And as you can see, everyone essentially running the bottom at this point. So it was either a case of a high side, probably not as fast as the bottom. Again, I haven't really seen it come into play too often here at Richmond. But when it does, and these guys can get pretty spread out in terms of the 3 grooves, essentially 3 grooves here at Richmond. Michael Araya right on the back bumper of the 5 will go on board with the sports graphics in-car camera. See how he takes around the Richmond International Raceway there. See, you could hear just how late he gets into the throttle there, probably with the 5 just in front. He'll get to the inside. He'll be side by side through 3 and 4. 5 looking like he'll have the momentum exiting the corner there. He'll be able to... Well, I thought he was going to be able to fend him off, but here comes the 44 back at it with the preferred groove. He will take the 7th spot away. Just in front, his teammate, the 51 of Bradley Burke, currently hunting down the 33 of Corey Hoover. Going to get that 5th spot away. Again, this 51 essentially in a must-win situation. Along with his teammate just in front of Corey Hoover there, the 41 of Sean Powell. And if he wins, it's going to shake up a lot. It's going to essentially take the 9 of Trevor Rapolo out of it. Polo needs to finish 22nd or better with 16 cars only in the field tonight. In a pretty good spot, but currently in the 14th position, and that car just hasn't looked fast. Practice wasn't too high up there. Qualified 15th, so he's made up a spot, but just doesn't look like he has the speed underneath that race car. And Trevor had unfortunately, as well with the High Voltage Racing League, This Saturday will be their finale. He was unfortunately knocked out, finishing second at Charlotte, and essentially a must-win. So, no, he was disappointed about that. Has a chance to rebound tonight, however. Can essentially lock himself in here, just has to make sure either the 41, the 51, the 41 of Sean Powell, the 51 of Bradley Burke, the 19 of Jacob Adams, the 37 of Tom Story, and the 11 of Jamie Dyson do not win. And right now, out of all of them, the highest there is the 41 of Sean Powell in fourth. So far, no one's been able to touch this 28 of Ryan Dyson coming around to complete lap 20 out of 200 tonight. See now the 38 all the way up towards that wall, and you can see how much momentum the 45 was able to gain through 3 and 4. And I believe Terrian saw that. He's going to go back down to the bottom. The 45 is already to the rear bumper. 38 going to take it to the middle line as well as the 45 through 3 and 4. And it just doesn't look like there's too much exit speed all the way towards that higher side. Seeming like the bottom's the best way to go in terms of getting that exit speed, and a little bit loose off turn 2 there, the 45 went. We'll ride on board here on the 45 for a lap, just to see the difference of corner exit speed. See how much he gained on the 38 there. Just really in the middle of the corner. 3 and 4 is really going to be at the corner we watch. About even, but it seemed like when the 38 was essentially all the way up to the wall, that's when we saw the drastic speed change, or speed difference. Definitely seeing this 38 move up a groove, and this track not too heavy on tires, so curious to know when these guys will start to make their way down pit road, and it seems like once one guy does, the rest of the field normally follows. So, and when that starts, one guy we may have to watch out for is this 44 of Michael Araya. He's been known to stay out maybe about 5 laps later than other guys, and that normally sets him up better in terms of tires. Normally really storm through the field on the freshers. You can see there on the back bumper now of his teammate, 40 or 51 of Bradley Burke will ride on board 44. And now we can see about 25 laps into it. Saw the 38 do it a little bit earlier, but now it's seeming like once he moved up, it's been a trend. We've seen a lot more guys start to go right to that middle groove where the 51 and the 33 went. Michael Raya to the bottom, however. They'll be side by side. The 44 going to try and get the nose underneath into 1. He will have it. They'll be side by side coming off the corner. 41 should have it. He will be clear of the 40 or 51, so he'll take that 6th spot away from his teammate, and that will set his sights on the 33. Hoover already to the inside, entering 1, going to be side by side. Side by side coming off. And so far, it's been a pretty solid night for Flat Out Motorsports. All their drivers currently in the top 10. And for 2 of them, it's going to be essentially a cakewalk with them getting wins. That would be the 44 and 24. But the other 2 in must-win situations. And those 2 currently 4th and 7th. So Larai going to take that 5th spot away now from the 33 of Hoover. Will now set his sights on the teammate, the 41 of Sean Powell. Sean has been another one consistently, or I should say consistent throughout the season. just hasn't had the best of finishes, but overall has kept that car fairly clean throughout. And you can see the power there from the 45 of Carl Shedd, put him back to the second spot. The 28 of Ryan Dyson still just about under a second, just a little bit under a second from the 28 of Dyson. Shedd already going to pull out about 3/10 from Terrian there. Extend it out a little bit more through that corner. But now it's just kind of showing. I don't believe that higher lane going to be too much of a benefit. We're already seeing it with the 45 really pulling out the gap now. And already starting to catch the leader, the 28 of Dyson. We've seen how Shedd can be better on the longer runs, and 33 laps into it, looking like the car's showing some good speed, starting to make his way up towards the front. Michael Wright has taken over that fourth spot from his teammate, 41 of Sean Powell. And he's been slowly and methodically making his way closer to the front. Started sixth, lost about 2 spots on the initial start, but has made those spots up and then 2 more. Somehow already 35 laps into tonight's event. Initial guess for pit stop is going to be around lap 50. Have to see if these guys are going to want to come in for tires, or may want to stretch it out a little bit. It'll depend on really how worn out these guys feel the tires are, and you can see with this being a night race, the rotors on that 45 already starting to glow just a little bit there on the inside of the tire. Should see a little bit of a red glow on the inside entering the corner. Not as bright as it was last time around, but you can see just how close he is now to the rear bumper, the 28 of Ryan Dyson, as we go on board. Starting to really close that margin. And now it's looking like we have a battle for a third before too long, as just about chopped off the nose of the 44 Shane Terrian did there. See now how it's looking like he may be arcing it into the corner. Terrian's been one who's been constantly up towards that higher lane, and hasn't seen the best results out of it. He'll go up there again. Here comes the 44 inside. They'll be side by side down the back straightaway there. This 44 going to have preferred lane entering through there, and he will take it away. But Michael Ryan into the top 3, but a battle for the lead now developing. The 45 is there on the rear bumper of Dyson. Ryan's led all 39 out of the 39 laps led here tonight. Only on lap 40, coming around to take lap 41. So Lariah about 2 seconds back of this front 2. Turn not too far behind as well, but looking like, again, that higher lane just not working out too well for Terrian. But to the rear bumper, here we go. Haven't seen really anybody challenge for this lead all night, but as we mentioned before, this 45 really shows his strength on the longer runs, and we've been 42 laps green. To the inside goes the 45. 28, not going to let him have the inside. He'll defend a little bit there. Starting to catch a little bit of lap traffic. That's his teammate, the 37 of Tom Story, just out ahead. Now it's looking like this 45 may be starting to arc it in a little more here. We're right on board now with the 45. Off the corner, you can see just how good exit speed he got. He's into the wall just a little bit there. No harm, no foul. However, probably just a little bit of a scrape. Down the back straightaway, he'll try and get the nose underneath again. 28 going to have none of it. Exiting the corner here. This is where we'll see the run. To the inside he goes. How hard will this 28 try and push it? He's got his teammate just in front of him on that outside. And he may be in the way here, going to try and dive into the into the lower lane there. He'll make it work. And will successfully get by the 37 of Tom Story. No real problems there, as you can see, the 44 starting to slowly creep his way into this picture. He's closed the gap about 5/10 now, only about a second and a half back. So it's looking like this 45 may have to start regaining his momentum to try and make another charge at it. Like the 29, Austin Hartenfeld has made his way down pit road. It was around lap 45, so maybe starting to see our first round of green flag stops. Battle for the lead there. 28 and 45 side by side. The 45 going to have the nose underneath. Shea going to try and take it away, but the power off the corner, it's looking like it's going to be with the 28. Going to have the better exit speed there. 45 of Shea going to still have the better lane entering. I thought he was, but the 28 really going to put the power down entering. Dyson going to keep the lead. And now we're seeing like green flag stops maybe starting up. The 51 and 24 are going to make their way down. So around the 50 lap mark was I guess a pretty good guess. Have to see when these leaders decide they want to start making their way down. Michael Lariah has made his way down, so not the normal trend we usually see. Lariah normally the last to come down. But he's going to make his stop early there on lap 50. Shea going to pull to the inside there, but he will come down pit road. And that leaves the 28 of Dyson out there. Carl Shea going to pull it down. 44 of Lariah just leaving his stall there. Here comes Dyson now to bring it down pit road. Michael Fennelson will stay out on the track. He'll lead a lap this time around. And like Tice, Hoover, and Rapolo will also stay out. Jacob Adams, Walker Thomas will be the one still needing to come down pit road. So yeah, about the top 6 still needing to make their first stops, but the lead has been taken over by the 14 of Michael Fennelson for the time being. Joseph Tice not too far behind, but a battle there. The 41, Sean Powell, he is a lap down. It's just trying to make his way through the field and trying to get a lap back. The battle there would be with the 33 of Hoover, about 4/10s back of this 5, however. It's looking like staying out that much later gonna hurt this 28. Possibly a little bit with track positions. When everything settles out, looking like this 38 may be taking over the lead. Again, those 6 cars still needing to pit, so Shane Terrian looking like once they all come down, he'll cycle out to be the leader. Sean Powell going to be second. Michael Araya will be third once it all cycles out again. Carl Shedd going to be fourth. Dyson going to cycle out to be fifth, so he's going to lose about 5 spots on that round. They're all coming around to try and get their laps back. Kind of surprised these guys are staying out as long as they have, but normally seems like there's a few odd ones out when it comes to green flag stops in the UpperEdge Racing League. Not all guys when they come down at the same time, so already a fourth of the way through this race, looking like stop's going to be 50 laps. Carl Shedd and Michael Araya all getting their lap back there. That'll cycle them out back to the lead lap. And with staying out, Fenelson has led 8 laps so far tonight. But other than that, Dyson's led all other 51 so far here this evening. With that, Dyson going to get his lap back there, so we've seen it time and time again. This 14 just going to fall farther and farther back. I'm not sure if he's going to stretch it out, possibly another 50 laps. At this point, that's what he's going to have to do. Sort of digging his own grave, if you will, at this point. When he comes down to pit, he's going to lose a lot of track position. It's top 6. It's really looking like maybe the strategy they're on. This 9, Trevor Polo, looking like he's going to try and mount a charge here on the 33 of Hoover. Barely going to have the nose inside. Coming off the corner there, it'll be side by side down the back straightaway. Put the 9, I was going to say into third. Still a very close battle there. He's going to have it exiting the corner. Again, the 9 still needing to finish 22nd or better, but with 16 cars in the field tonight, and with the 14 leading, he's in a pretty good spot to make it in. And 28 of Ryan Dyson only needs to finish 11th or better. That's where he is right now, basically on his cutoff spot in 11th. Corey Hoover has made his way down pit road there after getting passed by the 9 of Trevor Polo. We'll have to see where he cycles out. Right now he's 14th place. Have to see, probably going to go 2 laps down with this exchange. Aaron just getting by the 19 of Jacob Adams. Not too far behind. It's the 41 of Sean Powell, but now the 38 going to go after his teammate, the 18 of Walker Thomas, who has still not made his way down pit road and is now starting to suffer some consequences because of it. 19 of Jacob Adams also came down, or is on, I should say. It's only going to leave 4 cars still needing to come down, but the top 3 still have not made their way down, but here comes the 9 of Rapolo trying to get by his teammate in the 5. I think at this point, Rapolo may be just trying to lead a lap, try and minimize the damage should a driver behind him in points get the victory tonight. So far, the closest in contention to do that would be the 41 of Sean Powell. He's currently sitting in the 5th position. Dyson now on the back bumper of Carl Shedd. He's made up 3 positions there due to cars coming down to pit. We've seen this show before, however, the positions were flip-flopped last time around. And we've seen the speed Dyson's had really on the short to about medium runs tonight. Seems after about 30 laps, that 45 comes to life. So far, we've only had 20 laps on this run. Or at least these guys run who have made a green flag stop. Again, the top 3 have not. 18 Walker Thomas still has not. He's fallen all the way back to 10th. That's a pretty interesting strategy. Still losing positions there. Going to lose 2 more. Going to fall back to last car on the lead lap there. Have to imagine at this point, going to want to come down. I want to guess maybe around lap 100 if these guys can stretch it for that long. It will sure be interesting. 28 still hounding the 45. Will ride on board with the 28. Brian Dyson shown incredible speed tonight. This 28 has. His clinch scenario was 11th or better with no laps led. So far has led the most tonight. Still very long ways to go. That could change. But he knows he only has finished now 12th or better. He's currently in that 6th position. Trying to get the 5th away now. Closing in on halfway here tonight, so gonna still have to minimize the mistakes here. The lap's winding down. One mistake possibly for this 28 will knock him out of contention. .45 now going to get to the inside. The 41 of Sean Powell. Oh, and the 45 going to go around there off the corner of turn 2. There may have been a little bit of contact. He'll stop on the back straightaway, and that will bring out the caution. Very unfortunate for Carl Shad there. Very fast race car tonight. And unfortunately going to go around in pretty good front end damage on that car. A little bit of contact there. It didn't look like physically made contact. May have been a little bit of neck code. We'll go back and see it from up in the air. Just how close it was. Shed gets to the inside there. A little bit of contact off, and it sends him into the inside wall. And I'm sure he's going to be none too happy about it. Looking like he's already disconnected from the race tonight, so. Again, just starting the race. He's ensured his way in to the chase, so. No harm, no foul there, but. Gonna be one less position this 28 is gonna have to worry about. Should he need to worry about it. So as expected, these guys are gonna come down pit road, and look like this 14 may have made it possibly a little bit earlier. He's going to retain the lead there. And he had made his stop, so I guess you could say perfect timing, and that's really going to play out in his favor. So the rest of those guys are going to come down pit road. That'll cycle the field out there. Top 5 going to be Michael Fennelson, currently with the lead. The 38 of Shane Terry going to be second. Michael Araya third. Rolly Grand Davis fourth. And Austin Hartenfels fifth. Not too far behind the 28 of Ryan Dyson, just in that 6th position. See if we can possibly get a word in with this 28. Hopefully he's not talking to his teammates. Oh. All right, now I think we got you. Ryan, you got a quick second to chat?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, and that car's been pretty fast all night. First in practice, started on the pole, and it's look like you have no worries in terms of worrying about advancing.
Yeah, it looks like it. We put a lot of practice in this week to try and make sure we made it to championship elimination. That was the goal all season long, and Richmond's a personal favorite track of mine, or I guess next to Richmond, next to Martinsville, but love these short tracks and lots of speed tonight. It's really made me happy. First career pole. It's really exciting, and we'll have to see what we can do here. Just kind of got shuffled back there. That's not what I wanted to see, but we'll get back up there.
Absolutely. So I believe just taking one to go there, so we'll let you go and wish you the best of luck there. And again, good position to be in right now.
Thanks. Hopefully I'll get to talk to you later.
12th or better. He's going to have to finish there. So as you can see there, pace car lights are off. 80 laps down, only 120 left to go in the regular season, the 2016-2017 season here. 14, Michael Fendelson going to choose the outside lane there. And they're already off, and the green flag waving again. A great start there by the 14 of Michael Fendelson. He'll get the early jump. 38 of Shane Terry and his teammate there, easily going to get the second spot. The battle will be back for the third position between the two Flat Out Motorsports teammates. Well, Grant Davis hasn't shown a lot of speed all night. Up to third. Dyson trying to take it away there. Currently in the fifth spot, made up a position on that restart. And the 24 are now to the inside of his teammate on that preferred lane. Davis with the win at Daytona in the 28. Thought he was going to try and take it all the way to the inside, trying to get the nose underneath. But Davis with the win at Daytona, the first race of the season. He's in no worry, really, in terms of making it. He's already locked himself in, so just looking for another good run tonight. Haven't really seen him up towards the front this season until that win at Daytona. Riding on board with him, the Sport Graphics in-car camera there. Just in front of him, again, his teammate, the 44, Michael Araya. And as you can see there, the lead has swapped. The 38 of Shane Terry is taking it away from the 14 of Michael Fendelson. So this 38 looking like he's taken over the speed from last night and has carried it over to tonight. Again, finished second last night, the Hardline Truck Series, and currently leading it here. Lap 85 out of 200, currently have to take lap 86. Currently out front, 5 laps led so far tonight. He's also locked himself in. A win at Pocono ensured Shane Turian that he would be in the playoffs. Dyson really now hounding the 24 of Davis to try and get that fourth spot away. Dyson's teammate just behind him, the 29, Boston Hartenfeld, is currently sitting in that sixth spot. And now we see a battle for second. The 44, Shane Terry, the Michael Araya is there, trying to mount some sort of charge on this 14. Top three all under a blanket there. Fourth place not too far behind as well. Up the track, the 14 goes just a little bit there, and that's going to open the door for Michael Araya. He'll have the preferred lane as we go into one and should be able to take that second spot away. He'll hunt down the leader, the 38 of Shane Tarian. Trying to add just another win for the season for that 44 of Araya. 5 wins so far, looking to add another win sticker to that door. Very close racing, about first to seventh, all separated just a little over a second. Top two now starting to pull away there, and Michael Araya not letting Shane Terrian get away too far. And now with that, 24 of Davis was trying to mount something on the 14 there, but now the 28 again back on the rear bumper of Davis. To the inside goes that 24. Just barely going to have the nose underneath. Don't think he'll have a good run exiting the corner. And now here we go, the 28 all the way to the inside of Davis. Going to want to be a little bit careful there. Again, this 28 still racing for that seed. Has to finish 12th or better tonight. I don't think he wants to push the issue too far, especially with how fast a race car he has. Again, this 44 putting the pressure on Shane Terrian tonight. Right on board with Lariah. Closing in on halfway, about 5 away. So 105 laps left of the regular season. And what a good one it's been so far. The 44 dominant early in the season. It seemed like the rest of the field started to catch up just a little bit as they started learning the A car. And the caution is out on track 18 of Walker Thomas, some sort of issue there. Front end pretty well beat up. See what happened to Walker there, and looking like may have already happened. Yes, it did. Happened coming out of turn 2. Possibly got loose or may have gotten into the wall, one of the two, and it's going to be loose off turn 2. Tries very hard and then overcracks into the wall there. Not as hard of a hit as I thought. I have to see if that affects the radiator at all. And as expected, going to see these guys come down pit road there. Shane Terrian going to lead them down. Saw the 28 of Dyson get shuffled back fairly deep last time we had caution. We had pit stops under caution. See if that's the same case here. If that first pit stall hoping to be a little bit of a benefit for him. .41 gonna get out first. 2 tire stop for him, as well as the 33. Top 2 gonna have only 2 tires on those cars. It's gonna be the 41 of Sean Powell and the 33 of Corey Hoover, trying a little bit of strategy here halfway through the race. Trying to get them back up towards the front. Sean Powell has been running pretty solidly in the top 5. It seemed like he got shuffled back just a little bit. And Sean, one of the few who is not locked in to the regular season or to the postseason. As we'll show you once again, they're just about halfway through the race tonight. A championship grid there. Those 7 drivers locked in to the playoffs. Ronald Grant Davis, Michael Araya, Adam de Blasio, Corey Hoover, Michael Fenelson, Shane Terrian, and Walker Thomas, all with wins throughout the regular season, and still have a few in the race tonight who can shake that up. But with that, I'll show you the chase scenarios again tonight. Again, those 7 locked in on wins, locked in on points. Austin Hartenfeld essentially locked it up last week in Kentucky, and taking the green tonight, Joseph Tice and Carl Shedd both locked themselves in Fortunately, Shed again disconnecting. A little bit of an issue there. Or an incident, I should say. And the clinch scenarios, again, Dyson has finished 11th or better with no laps led, but he's led 51 tonight. So 12th or better is going to be where Dyson's going to have to finish. Lucky for him, there's only 12 cars left on the lead lap. Trevor Polo needs to finish 22nd or better with no laps led. And he has not led any laps tonight, but only 16 cars in the field tonight. Should we get a new winner behind him in points, he'll need to finish 13 positions ahead of Ryan Dyson, 12 with a lap led, or 12th with the lap led, and 11th with the most and a lap led. Excuse me, 12 positions ahead and 11 positions ahead, and the 11 going to get the wave around there, so 1 to go there on the pace car. Going to be the 12 and 30, or excuse me, the 41 and 33. Going to lead him off for this restart. Hasn't been as crazy as I would have thought. A lot of these guys are already good on points, but basically going to pull down there. The 41 is off, and we're back to racing halfway through tonight's event. A great jump by the 41 of Sean Powell. He'll easily clear into 1 and will pull away with the lead, but not too fast. Here comes the 33 of Corey Hoover. Again, both those two cars, only 2 tires. Michael Rise made the jump up to 3rd. He's taking the position away from the 38 of Shane Terry in there. Well, Grant Davis there in the 5th spot. Here comes the 40 or the 14 of Michael Fennelson on the inside. We'll get side by side with the 24. Don't think he'll have the best run off the 33. A little bit loose there. Going to lose about 3 spots. But a great save for the 33. And he'll keep a race car in one piece. Again, not going to have to worry tonight. Locked in. Just racing for pride at this point. Terry now on the back bumper of Lariah. And Sean Powell slowly slipping away. And that is not what Rapolo wanted to see. Trevor currently back in that 11th spot. And should a winner behind Trevor in points take a victory away, that essentially makes his chances essentially impossible with how good this 28 has been tonight of Ryan Dyson, currently in that 7th spot, to get shuffled out a little bit ever since green flag stops. But still good by 5 positions over that cutoff spot. And now Lariah closing in the gap on his teammate of Sean Powell. 38 might have gotten in to the wall just a little bit there. And how about that side by side? It's the battle for 4th there between the 24 and 33. And the battle for 6th with the 28 and 14. Very close racing going on there. 24 going to get that 4th spot away. Here comes the 14 on the high side, trying to get some sort of a run on the 33 of Hoover. And I must say, this 14 looking like he's been the only one really successful at running that higher lane. Saw the 38 try and do it later into the run. It seemed like he was as successful as this 14 looking like he's being now. Definitely got it working. Question is if anybody else can get it working. 28 going to make the move underneath his teammate, the 33 of Corey Hoover there, trying to get that 6th spot away, and he will clear Corey Hoover. Austin Hartenfeld is now trying to get past his teammate there. It'll be side by side coming off of 4. And just up front, battle for the lead. The 41 a little bit loose off that corner, and the 44 had to check up just a little bit. Terry not too far behind this battle as well. As we'll ride on board with Michael Araya. Sport graphic in-car camera there. So far, it's been a very good night for Flat Out Motorsports. All their drivers in the top 10, currently battling for the lead there. Well, Grant Davis back to that 4th spot. Bradley Burke in 9th. 44 trying any way he can. Trying to get around his teammate, but just behind him is the 38 of Tarian. I believe he's to the inside. Yes, he is. Trying to get that spot away, a little bit loose. Exiting 4 there and going to hurt his momentum. Dyson now to the inside of Michael Fennelson. Trying to get that 5th spot away. Still side by side. Those 2 cars are. Here comes the 28. Like he will be able. Thought he was, but again, this 14 just working that high side so well tonight. Still going to be side by side, entering 3 there. 28 going to have it. Will finally clear. No, there goes the 14 back at it. And that exit speed off of turn 4 there for the 14. We'll ride it on board with the 29 of Austin Hartenfeld is just behind those 2. And with that, the 28 finally going to have it cleared over the 14. And up front again, 41 doing a very good job. Surprisingly, only with 2 tires holding off the 44, his teammate there with fresher tires. However, it's definitely looking like this 44 definitely faster than Powell, just not a lot of ways around his teammate. Hartenfeld's now trying to get to the inside of Fennelson there. Be side by side, almost a little bit of contact. The 29 a little bit loose, able to save it, but here comes his teammate now. Gonna try and get to the high side there. Just in front of them, their teammate, the 28 there of Ryan Dyson in the 5th position. Right now, solidly into the chase position there. Only 2 really available. Should this race, if this race finished right now, it would be the 28 and the 41 of Sean Powell and would force the 9 out of it. So right now, Trevor Polo, his best friend is going to be that 44 or that 38. Try and take it away from the 41 of Sean Powell. So 80 laps to go here. I'm going to step away. Well, I was going to say that, but here comes the 44 now to the inside. Got a good run down the front straightaway. It'll be side by side down the back. Into 3, this 44 will have the preferred lane and will easily clear Sean Powell and put the 44 out front. Well, I say that. And Sean going to fight back on that outside. And we'll now have Loriak or Powell clear there. And now it's looking like the 2 tires may be starting to wear off for the 41 of Powell. Around to take 75 laps to go here. Well, this battle continues. Going to step away for just a quick second. There's your top 5. Don't go away. We'll be right back. 65 laps remaining in the regular season here tonight for the London Recreational Racing Cup Series APC 200 here tonight at the Richmond International Raceway. You saw the pass there, the 38 finally getting around the 41 of Sean Powell. And Sean, again, with only 2 tires, took it on that last caution, still in third, so 2 tires may be the way late here in the going. Could be a pretty good option to try and gamble tonight if you're willing to do that. And again, maybe a good option. Obviously, we're seeing it work with the 41 of Sean Powell. Corey Hoover hasn't had the best luck either. He's fallen back to 7th. Those 2 are the only 2 to take 2 tires on that last stop. See how many times I can say 2 in that sentence, but coming around to take 60 to go. If you're just joining us tonight, we find out who has the shot at racing for a championship at Homestead, with this being the final race of the regular season. Very quickly, we'll go over to our chase grid there. You can see those 7 drivers have already won their way in to the postseason. Raleigh Grant Davis, Michael Araya, Adam de Blasio, Corey Hoover, Michael Fenelson, Shane Terrian, and Walker Thomas have all made their way in those 7th positions. And then with the rest of them, getting those 7 locked in, and locked in on points tonight. Austin Hartenfels, essentially locked in at Kentucky last week. Joseph Tice, as the 41 of Sean Powell just went into pit road there, but the of Joseph Tice and Carl Shedd just taking the green flag tonight ensured their way in. And our clinch scenarios tonight, Ryan Dyson only has to finish 11th or better, now 12th, with leading a lap. Right now he's sitting in the 3rd spot. Trevor Polo has to finish 22nd or better with no laps led. He hasn't led a lap tonight, but with only 16 drivers in the field, essentially a cakewalk as long as a non-chase driver does not win. As now we're seeing our green flag stops start to commence. The 44, Michael Araya, came down. 29, 5, and 38 as well have made their way down. Don't imagine this will be the final stop of the night, but it could quite possibly be. We've seen them go longer than their 50-lap distance, which I would have thought they would have gone by then. But obviously, when one guy comes down, the rest of them probably going to have to come down as well. That's going to surrender the lead over the 24, Raleigh Grant Davis. Have to see when he comes down, but see just behind him, the 28 of Ryan Dyson sitting 2nd there. Brad LeBurke just coming down as well in the 51. So right now that cycles out. Michael Araya there to 6th. Still waiting for the top 5 to make their way down pit road. Jacob Adams, thought he had come down looking like another one. Excuse me, yeah, he has not come down yet, but he's now starting to lose a bit of position. How about that? 3 wide heading into 1. Not sure how well that'll work out. They all settle it out there. And looking like we may go 3 wide again back there. The 41 of Sean Powell thought better of it. Now you can see the 9 of Trevor Rapolo currently sitting in that 9th or 8th position, excuse me. And with Raleigh Grant Davis leading, he would make it in to the playoffs, closing in on 50 laps to go, 2 laps away from it. So now just waiting for the top 4 to make their way down pit road. Michael Fendelson just getting around the 33 Corey Hoover there. The 14, the 41 going to try and do the same. However, Sean is a lap down, so he's just working his way to get his lap back. So haven't seen this 24 out in front a lot there, but he's going to pull it down pit road. And that's going to hand the lead over to the 28 of Ryan Dyson. And only 50 laps left in the regular season. And Ryan Dyson in the best spot right now, but still, again, has to make his final stop of the night. Staying out later may not have the best benefits in terms of track positions. We're already seeing a lot of guys start to make their way through. Staying out even longer just going to hurt it that much more. So it's been a fairly clean and green race here tonight. We'll take a quick race recap. After 151 of 200 laps, only 2 cautions on the night for 8 caution laps and 8 lead changes. As you see there, the 28 of Ryan Dyson going to go down pit road there. And that'll make our 9th lead change with the 14 of Michael Fendelson reclaiming the lead there. Dyson's led the most laps tonight, and if he claims that, he will only have to finish 13th or better. As the, like, maybe the 37, yeah, around on the apron, in the grass there on the front stretch. Saw him go around. I'm thinking it probably just got a little bit loose off turn 2. Not going to be caution as he gets it into the grass, though. Underneath our leader there. That could have been pretty big. Exits the corner, and what's a pretty interesting one there. But he'll get it back going. Looking like thought he was on pace to come down pit road, but he'll stay out there. So staying out that little bit longer, Dyson is now back to 12th. Ryan Dyson, I should say, back to 12th. So on his cutoff spot. The 14 still needing to come down, as well as the 33, and once they do, we'll cycle it out to the 44 of Michael Raya. 45 laps to go here in tonight's event. Turning about a second and a half back of Lariah there. And Pal about 2 seconds back. As you can see the battle there between the 29 and 51. That's the battle for the 8th spot. Saw a little bit of a wiggle there of the 14 of Michael Fendelson. I'm curious to know when his magic number is, because he doesn't look. It's not looking like he's gonna have enough laps to really, I don't believe, run these guys back down. If you know, 2 tires was any sort of idea there. Obviously, you got 2 fresh ones on there, but this track being fairly hard to pass unless you get up the track just a little bit like the 14 did there. Not a lot of room to make passes, so curious to see. His last stop was the last caution, so see there the 24 getting to the inside to get his lap back. So Michael Fendelson currently in the lead there. The 33 of Corey Hoover second. And Michael Raya with the freshest tires there in third. Shane Terrian in fourth there, about 3 seconds back of Lariah. Sean Powell not too far behind as well in the 5th spot. About 7/10 back. So just under 40 laps to go, and you know, not sure if we missed it, but I'm kind of starting to think this our team may be on the same cycle. If not, he's running some very good lap times. Still in the 22-second bracket, hasn't fallen off over a second, but about 0.8 off of what these leaders are running, but not as big as a drop-off as I expected. So see there, Dyson now getting his lap back, still in his cutoff spot, so about 1.5 seconds back of the 5 of Joseph Tice to try and ensure or get a little bit of insurance. You saw there the 44 Loriaf got by Corey Hoover there in the 33. It was about 7 seconds back of this 14 of Michael Fennelson. Sean Powell trying to work over the 38 of Terry in there. It's for the 4th spot. Tarian has it. Powell wants it. A pretty good battle there. That's for the 7th position between Trevor Polo and Jacob Adams. Polo just getting it there, and we'll have the 19 cleared. Now here comes the 29 of Austin Hartenfeld to try and follow suit. And he will do so. That's going to lose Jacob Adams there 2 spots. He's going to fall back to 9th. Now Austin Hartenfeld is going to try and work over Trevor Polo there. He will get that position. You see that they'll be side by side down the back straightaway there. Now Hartenfeld will take it away from Rapolo, so that'll put Rapolo back to the 8th spot. Still in a very comfortable position. Really, the top 3 already getting a win, so no room for anybody else to advance. And speaking of that, the 44 of Lariah very quickly closing in on the 14 of Michael Fennelson, and now the times have started to drop off quite a considerable amount for that 14. Falling off to just about a second at this point now. And at this point, thought he might be good in terms of maybe trying to run it the full way, but now we're seeing with this 44 closing in on quite an alarming rate. Only 2 seconds back now, was 7 only a few laps ago, so closing in very quickly again. We'll ride on board here with the 44 of the Sport Graphic in-car camera, show you just how quickly that gap closes. Fennelson just getting by the lap car of Jamie Dyson up front there, and under 30 laps to go left in the regular season. And you can see just like that, in about 2 laps he's closed down to just under a second. Slevin may be causing some problems there. He'll have to get by. Fennelson, or excuse me, Lariah will have to get by there. Dyson going to get down to the low lane there, try and get out of the way the best he can. 25 laps to go. I'm thinking at this point, Fennelson may be just trying to run it dry and try and get a better position than what he may have wound up getting. caution at this point would probably be his best friend, put him in a pretty good spot. Well, 25 laps to go, not looking like it's going to be the case. Went pretty spread out there, so Michael O'Reilly going to get to the lead there. It's going to cycle out Fendelson to second. Shane Terrian back about 5 seconds of Fendelson and about 5.5 of the lead. A battle back there, back here for the 6th spot. Starting to root between the 29 of Austin Hartenfels and the 24 Raleigh Grant Davis. Go inside another sports graphic in-car camera. And the laps again just slowly starting to wind down here. Closing in on under 20 laps to go. To the inside goes the 24. Going to be side by side down the back straightaway there, and going to get it cleared exiting. So just behind, 2 drivers fighting for the cutoff spot there. 28 of Dyson only has to finish 12th or better, currently in the 8th spot. And the 9 of Trevor Polo in the 9th position has finished 22nd or better. If a winner from behind, or a winner behind him in points, does not win. And right now it's looking like that will be the case. Coming to 20 laps to go, Michael O'Reilly, your leader, 5 wins on the season, looking for number 6 here tonight. Michael Fendelson just there in that 6th spot. Already 4 seconds put down from Lariah to Fendelson. Sean Powell now starting to make a bit of ground up on the 41, or the 38, excuse me. Turn and then going high there, looking like that's going to lose all his momentum there. Something must have happened to Austin Hartenfels there. He got very loose, and Dyson was able to go around him with a fair amount of ease. Well, that car just looked like it stopped turning there. And with that, Hartenfels loses that spot. Now the 9 of Trevor Polo just behind him, wanting to take that spot away. That gives Dyson that much more of a cushion. Puts him to the 7th spot. 17 laps to go, looking to be in great shape to get into the 12 that race for Homestead. And that's going to be the easy, I won't say easy, but I guess the fairly easy part, making it into the round of 12 in terms of the chase. But then as we whittle through the rounds, we get to the best here in the UpperEdge Racing League. So there's only 4 left going for the championship at Homestead Miami Speedway. And we're about 15 laps away from finding out who the starting 12 are going to be. So you see there, Sean Powell getting that 3rd spot away from Michael Fendelson there. Fendelson starting to drop, has not come down pit road ever since, I don't believe, the caution. So right now in 4th, and most likely lose another position before night's end to Bradley Burke. Well, Grant Davis just behind his teammate there as well in that 6th position. To the inside goes the 24 of Raleigh. And now both of them going to run up fairly quickly on that 14. It's going to be that's going to block the 51 of Bradley Burke in there. 24 should have the advantage going into 1. He will. 51 just going to have to follow in suit. So at this point, Fendelson dropping like a rock. Looking like Dyson will be the next one to get by. And just about a second at this point. With about a second and a half. Closed up 5/10 in one corner. We see there Rapolo now getting by the 29 of Austin Hartenfels, or at least trying to. And we'll get cleared there. So Dyson there getting around Michael Fenelson. That'll put Dyson into the 6th spot. He did finish 12th or higher to the 6th spot, almost to the top 5. Don't believe he will reach that before night's end. It's in a very good position. So 10 laps to go here in the regular season. It's going to be a tie for most laps led, it looks like, before night's end, between the 28 of Ryan Dyson and the 14 of Michael Fenelson. Not going to matter too much, as both of them going to be locked in. Should this race finish exactly like this, Trevor Rapolo will make it in. With the 44 again, 5 wins already this season. Looking to add number 6 and try and be the top seed, if you will, entering the chase. Well, I said he might not be able to do, but here comes Dyson to the back bumper. The 40 or 51 of Bradley Burke there. He's got 4th and 5th just in front of him. Will he try and make it 3 wide? He will. He's going to cycle out pretty quickly there. He'll get to the inside of Bradley Burke. And we'll take that 5th spot away. Won't be able to clear Bradley as they come back up. We'll be side by side. And then we'll get the nose underneath of Sean Powell there. He'll get 2 in 1. Put Ryan Dyson up to the 4th spot with 5 or 6 laps to go. Obviously not going to get to the front, but we noted at the beginning of the broadcast. First in practice there, started on pole tonight, and the momentum this 28 has carried late into the season. Ever since Daytona, it seemed like. Just been phenomenal, and now we're seeing the life out of this 28 of Ryan Dyson. 5 laps to go. He, 2 other of his teammates, 33 and 29, will try and win the championship for RCA Racing. 4 laps to go. As long as nothing happens to this 28. Looking like he will be in. As should a caution come out, this race will be over. So either way, the next flag can end it at this point. As we come to 3 laps to go. 24 trying to charge on the 38 of Shane Turian there. Five tenths back there. Now 3 really closing the gap. I don't believe he'll get there in time. 44 there, just taking 2 laps to go. Michael Araya, arguably not the best car all night. Seemed like he got there when it counted. He'll come around and take the white flag. Race is official at this point. It's looking like those 2 will advance. So coming around turn 4, Michael Araya out of 4. Going to take win number 6 and a lot of momentum entering the chase. He wins at Richmond. Out of 4 there. Terry going to get 2nd. Davis going to get 3rd. And Ryan Dyson going to come home 4th. He's in the chase. Rapolo going to come home 7th. He will also advance. And now we know the grid entering Chicagoland. coming to the front straightaway there. Michael Raya gonna do the burnouts, as he's done 6 times already this season. Knows how to get it done. That's all he celebrates. Gonna get everybody situated for post-race interviews here tonight, and then talk to our top 3. Don't go away, we'll be right back. All right, and just wrapping up tonight's event, the London Recreational Racing Cup Series, the APC 200 tonight here at the Richmond International Raceway. And see is Michael Raya getting his 6th win of the season tonight. And Shane Terry going to come home 2nd. Raleigh Grant Davis 3rd. Ryan Dyson 4th. Bradley Burke 5th. Sean Powell 6th. Trevor Apollo 7th. Joseph Tice 8th. Michael Fennelson 9th. And Austin Hartenfeld is going to round out the top 10 there. And then Jacob Adams 11th. Corey Hoover 12th. Tom Story 13th. Jamie Dyson 14th. Walker Thomas 16th or 15th. Carl Shedd going to come home 16th. And now we show you the chase grid. You can see the 7 drivers there. You can add 5 more to that list. It's going to be Austin Hartenfels. Let's start from the first. Raleigh Grant Davis, Michael Raya, Adam de Blasio, Corey Hoover, Michael Fennelson, Shane Terry, and Walker Thomas can be the 7 who got the regular season wins. Then 5 more you can add for points. Austin Hartenfels, Joseph Tice, Carl Shedd, and now Ryan Dyson and Trevor Rapolo will be your 12 racing the round of 12. And we'll try and get that all-important top 4 spot for Homestead Miami Speedway. All right, so now we'll talk to our winner here, the 44 of Michael Raya. Michael, you got us?
Hey, guys.
Well, it wasn't didn't seem like a dominating run as it usually is for your wins tonight, but was there when it mattered, leading about 45 laps tonight, and looked like you may be the top seed entering the chase here tonight.
Yeah, practice for this race didn't start off too well for me. I was searching for speed, but I knew that I had a good car on the long runs, and I was pretty consistent, so I was banking on that, and it helped during the race. We had those long runs, and it really showed the strength of my car and what I can do on the long runs. But I got to give a shout out to Corey Blevins and Sports Graphic for designing this beautiful paint scheme, and also Pit Taki Designs too for painting all the cars on Flat Out. Yeah, I'm just it's awesome to get a win for them, and this is a place I haven't won at yet. I've had some good runs before here, but I could never close it out, so I'm happy to get it.
Absolutely, and based off that burnout, it seemed like you were pretty excited as well. But now we go into the postseason here, and again, getting that win tonight has to add a lot of momentum, and have to feel pretty good as we head in.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the speed I have this season in the A car. I know though it's basically a reset for everybody next week. So um, you can maybe see some guys that are in the chase that maybe struggled a little bit. They're gonna reset their mind and their focus and go at it again. It's a level playing field for everybody. So just because I had some success here doesn't mean that I can just waltz right through this thing. I really got to be on my game as well. But I feel really good going into next week. Chicagoland is one of my best tracks. It's a fun track to race at too. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
All right. Well, congratulations tonight. Win number 6 on the season and looking pretty good heading into the chase. Again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, take it easy, and thanks for broadcasting. You guys always do a good job.
Well, thank you. All right. Now we'll bring in our second place finisher here, Shane Tarian. Shane, you got us?
I got you.
All right, well, it seemed like you carried in a little momentum from last night's race and a very good race car here tonight. Obviously already locked in, but looking like you were just looking for bragging rights tonight with a second place finish.
Yeah, I really wanted some more bonus points because it's tough to stay consistent in this league. But second yesterday, second today, I guess I'll take it, even though it's really wanted to win.
Absolutely. Well, now you're locked into the chase as well. So hitting the big reset button on it all. What's the lookout like these next couple weeks as we head in to the round of 12?
My goal is to just get top 5s. It probably in each race. I know Watkins Glen's not going to be a good one for me. So I know the road course guys like Corey and Michael and all of them are going to do really well. So I just need to at least get top 5, top 3 in the ovals, and I'll be fine.
Absolutely. Well, a second place finish here tonight, looking like you're carrying a lot of momentum as we head into the postseason. So congratulations tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, so now we'll bring in our third place finisher here, the 24 of Raleigh Grant Davis. Raleigh, you got us?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, it's been quite a while since we've been able to talk to you, and an amazing run here tonight. You come home with a third place finish.
Yeah, had a really good run tonight. I was proud of that, especially after last week. We had a computer issue. I was starting to make my way towards the front at Kentucky, and the computer just messed up, and I couldn't see, so I had to park it. So I was very proud to come back and finish third tonight. Also very proud of all my teammates for all the effort they put in this week practicing. Really good effort. We all finished in the top 10, actually all in the top 6, so proud of that.
Absolutely. A great night for Flat Out Motorsports all night, really throughout the top 10 throughout the race. And now I have to ask the most important question, been asking all these guys. That's the end of the regular season. Now we head into the postseason. Obviously, you won at Daytona. What's the lookout like for these next 3 races?
Well, the first opening round of the chase is at 1.5 miles, and that seems to be our team's all the flat outs. That's our strong suits, the 1.5 mile tracks. And I expect a really slick track next week at Chicagoland, so that helps even more. And then we'll go to New Hampshire. That one might be a little bit of wild card because it raced like a short track, and I don't know what to expect. But I expect a really good run at Chicagoland. My expectations, though, for myself is to make it to the Final Four. Like anything less than that's a disappointment. So I'm ready to go. Like I'm super excited. I've taken every precaution with my computer, cleaned it out, updated it. So anything that's happened throughout the regular season with technical issues, hopefully that's all gone. So now we can just go race. And right now I have the best teammate in the league to learn from. So I'm going to be leaning heavy on the 44.
Absolutely. And based on your run tonight, it definitely looks like you are ready for the chase. So congratulations, the third place finisher tonight, and we'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Really proud to finish third in the 3M car and be on the lookout for new sport graphic cars on the 24. They've updated their logos. It's going to look really good.
All right, so now since we got him around, we'll speak to the man who raced his way into the chase tonight, the 28 of Ryan Dyson. Ryan, you got us?
Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations, my friend. You have raced your way in, and not by a lack of trying, a great fourth place finish for you tonight, and definitely rebounded from the little skirmish, I'd like to say. We got shuffled back there.
Yeah, it was a good race. It was good to get the first career pole in the Cup Series out of the way. That was an accomplishment. It's not every day you get to be that quick, and I felt like we were definitely the fastest car. I just couldn't get through traffic once I got shuffled back after those green flag stops, and I thought I had the right strategy at the end. Well, I think I did, but just not enough laps to make it all work, and came back for fourth. So I'll take it, but I was really hoping for that first career win tonight.
Well, with that, again, I have to ask you the question I've been asking all three of those guys. With you racing your way into the chase now, what's the lookout for these next three races as you try and make your way to Homestead?
Just so happens that I think 7 or 8 of the tracks in the elimination would consider myself very good at. So the plan from here is to hopefully win a race in the first 2 rounds and then have a chance in the final 4 for the final round.
All right, well, with the heat you've been packing these last couple weeks, you may be the one to look out for, especially with how good you are at those racetracks. So congratulations. Made your way into the chase tonight. So we'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that going to wrap it up for us tonight as one series is just starting their postseason. Another one finishing up with the finale Saturday night. The High Voltage Racing League will race for one more time the 2016 season. It'll be Justin Krasneski, Chester Gibson, and Briar LaPrade, all three racing for a shot at a title at Homestead. No points on the line, just whichever finishes the highest gets it. So should be an exciting one there for both you and me. And again, don't want to miss that. But tonight, I'm just Cole. We thank you for watching and hope to see you Saturday night.